You've just tuned in for the latest transmission of Rice Against the Grain. Something strange is happening with this solar eclipse. Devil Comet. We have an army of locusts approaching us. And I am joined by my good friend, Mr. Doenut. Doenut from the Doenut Factory, and I invited him on because he's wicked smart. Well, fam, make sure you take an opportunity to smash that like button. We are live streaming on the Rice Against the Grain YouTube channel. We are streaming on Rumble and also on X. I have links down below for everything that we're going to be talking about on today's show, and we're going to get started in just a moment. Smash that like button and be sure to share out this video. Don't forget to visit ricetvx.com, where you can watch both of my YouTube channels, ricecrypto and Rice Against the Grain, directly. Find all of my social media links, sign up for my mailing list, and become a member of Rice Uncensored, where you can join me on the private side for less than $0.25 a day. You will get early access to both Rice Crypto and Rice Against the Grain, ad-free, unedited videos, exclusive content, members-only forum with direct access to me, live streams, and more to come, only at ricetvx.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again so much for tuning in for today's live stream. It's been a minute since me and Doenut have streamed together. Just really quickly before I bring in our guest of honor, I'm going to have links down below so you can check out this man's website at do-nut.com. Be sure to check out his website where you get links to his Patreon so you can get hooked up with all the good, wicked, smart information. Follow him over on the X/Twitter at The Real Doenut. Also, we have links for the Doenut Factory on YouTube and the Doenut Factory on Rumble. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and bring in our man of honor, Mr. Doenut. Welcome to Rice Against the Grain, my friend. How you doing? What up?
What up, it's Doenut. Thank you so much, Rice, for having me on. Now I actually feel wicked smart, because if you're not subscribed to Rice YouTube channel, he interviews actually wicked smart people that I would love to model. Maybe give me 10 years and I'll be on that level. But
you're far too kind, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. And for your subscribers who may be unfamiliar too, I've had to split my content up on the YouTube side. This makes it very strange and kind of hard to explain, like when I'm trying to explain it to people. But if you go to my YouTube channels, you'll see that I have Rice Crypto, and then it's Rice TVX in brackets. If you go to the other one on YouTube, Rice Against the Grain with Rice TVX in brackets. I had to break up the channel. But if you go over to Rumble, you'll see that it says Rice TVX, and it has both channel names in brackets. So you can watch all of my content over on Rumble, all on one channel. Otherwise, I definitely encourage you guys to make sure you subscribe to both my YouTube channels. And if you guys are interested in the cryptocurrency content, that's what I cover over on the other channel: sovereignty, financial freedom, cryptocurrency, and all that good stuff. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about today, though.
For sure. I really like that last video with Lynette Zhang and how she is moving into food products and stuff like that and growing. That was a really cool show you did.
Well, she's been doing that for years. When you guys were in lockdown, she was giving out toilet paper to people in her neighborhood. So she was already stocking up and ahead. She's very community oriented. So I will be coming out there, as we talked about. I will be linking up with you. And it's something I did want to talk with you about privately later, is she is going to be looking for having some people helping her out with video production and stuff. And she's going to be having a studio facility in Phoenix. So I thought it might be a good opportunity. Look, our heads just got bigger.
Yeah, I've been eating way too much food. Oh man, yeah, that'd be a great opportunity. I would love that.
I don't even know if you have that kind of time though, but
I'll make the time.
So before we even get into this stuff with the eclipse and everything that's going to be specifically happening tomorrow, the cicada stuff is not happening tomorrow, obviously. I just think that's kind of icing on the cake. But we just had this earthquake that took place in the New York, New Jersey area. Right. The Statue of Liberty got struck by lightning.
For real.
It's like what's going on? It's like the craziest stuff. It's just it's like it's hard for someone not to look at these things and wonder if this is like God communicating with us, you know, using the signs in heaven, using nature, things that man cannot distort or remove.
It
That makes sense.
absolutely is. Yeah, it's supernatural. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And I remember a Tai Chi master once told me that when the wave falls down, it all falls at once. And that happens in life. And it seems like the wave is falling down all at once with CERN being activated the day of this eclipse on April 8th. This is the same day that secret agent 666 out Aleister Crowley summon Iowas, right? And we're hearing about AI, and that's has Iowas is spelled with the AI in it. So CERN being activated, I think, is huge. And earthquake, Statue of Liberty, Liberty Bells, wrestling, so much stuff happening. Absolutely.
Like
But
if
CERN is
if you go on like a search engine and you search CERN in April 8th, you'll see something where they're already putting out basically stuff to combat mis and disinformation, because they're saying all these conspiracy theorists are coming up with all these grand ideas. There's too much coincidence of what's happening on this day for them to have chosen this day.
yes, it's
You know,
a
it just,
cool
I mean,
day.
because I mean, not even get, so we have the CERN stuff happening. We also have NASA. They're launching these rockets so that they can, they're sounding rockets, so that they can see how the Earth's upper atmosphere is affected when sunlight momentarily dims over a portion of the planet. Crazy enough as it is. I mean, so you got that going on.
And it's called APEP. That's the name of this mission, which goes into APEP, the god of disorder, this serpent god.
Yeah, that's adding more strangeness on strangeness. I found out recently too that there is this on the New Madrid fault line, which falls right in the area of where the X would be from the 2017 total solar eclipse and this upcoming total solar eclipse tomorrow. The New Madrid fault line falls in that. And I think the last time we had an eclipse in that area, there was earthquakes. That was like 1811, 1812. I don't
Yes.
know if you heard about that.
Yeah. And that's when the Nile River, the Mississippi River flooded backwards. And this took place during Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson was writing the eclipse out and numbering it, and they made Constitution Day on September 17th when this eclipse happened. So this has been very important of the founding of the country as well, just like Pluto's return. All the elites and these people, the founding fathers, who three of them died on July 4th. July 4th, the days that is set up is chosen for astrological alignments. National UFO Day is on 7/2. It's the day that the girl saw some shape shifting on a plane, and she said, "Those mother effers ain't real" on the plane. On
What day
National
was that?
7/2, July 2nd, which is
Okay.
the actual founding of the country. It's not July 4th. Benjamin Franklin, who was a spy on the Hellfire Club, where Aleister Crowley took the motto, "Do what thou wilt," from, and they took it from the assassins, Hassan Asaba or Sabi,
The Hashashins.
the Hashins, which was anything's permissible.
Hashashins, because that's
The
where the word
Hashins,
hash and assassin apparently comes from. Hashish.
allegedly, yes.
Allegedly, yes.
And that's like that MK Ultra mind control with the schizogenics that are happening today. But you can tie that the drugs all the way back to the Eleusinian mysteries, where all these secret society sects are coming from. But the Book of the Law, Aleister Crowley, he summoned Iowas on April 8th when this eclipse is happening tomorrow. And the next major one will be on the day the Illuminati was founded, May 1st.
You said Aleister Crowley?
Yeah,
now, didn't he summon some, like, was there multiple entities that he summoned? Because I thought it was okay because there is that kind of gray Yoda looking.
That's Lom.
Lom. That's what I was. Okay, so he's all over the place. He's got all kinds of like entity buddies.
Yeah,
Wow.
and so like CERN, there's a lot of predictive programming from Stranger Things, which has a lot of 322 connection with the kid's birthday being on 322. Just recently on 322, we had a tragic event happen at a concert hall in Moscow. And I mean, 322 is all over the place this year. I mean, Yale, where 322 Skull and Bones is located, it's in its 322 anniversary, which is older than the country. It's older than 1776. So
it is.
These powerhouses have been in power for a very, very long time, going back to the Hammurabi Code, I believe. But this date coming up, April 8th, 4/8, there was just an earthquake too with a 4.8 in New Jersey or New York. New Jersey got this large hard-on collider, I like to call it.
A hard-on collider. I like that.
A large
hard-on collider. Got to make sure it's not small, indeed.
But there's this new show out called The Three-Body Problem. Made by the people of Game of Thrones. This is big Hollywood production. I mean, this is propaganda. Netflix.
CIA production, not just Hollywood. It's a combination of all the above. But it's communicating something. What the other one was, Leave the World Behind, which was a book that Obama, his production company, decided to turn into a movie conveniently. I need to go back and rewatch that because I was told the book took place in North Carolina. So I'm not sure, and I'm obviously in North Carolina, so I'm not sure if the movie's like that. Yeah, raise up, North
Carolina, come on, raise up.
Again, real quick, I want to ask everybody who has not taken an opportunity to smash that like button to make sure you guys do so, because that's what helps other people to find the channel. It's supposed to help wake up the algorithm. It'd be greatly appreciated. We're live streaming on my YouTube channel, Rice Against the Grain, over on my Rumble channel, and also on my X account at RiceTVX. If you're watching on X, repost it, all that good stuff. I greatly appreciate you guys.
Yes, smash the like button, subscribe to Rice, because you're going to get wicked smart. This is a wicked smart channel.
Well, we got wicked smart guests on. Dude, like, this is something I wanted to bring up because it's interesting. We're getting these warnings, these kind of government law enforcement style warnings about the eclipse, which I have never seen ever. Now, I understand that there's going to be a large influx of travelers in certain areas and that people may not be prepared for that amount of people being in their areas. But still, I find it very alarming that we have governments issuing warnings. This one on the left side of the screen talks about cell phones may not work, fill up your gas tank, schools being closed, stocked up on food, and brace for traffic. And this is all for an event that I think the totality of it is like less than 5 or 6 minutes, if I understand it, but it's not that much time. What are your thoughts about why the government is issuing these warnings?
Well, this month, Mercury went into retrograde on April 1st, April Fool's Day. And on that day, Instagram went down. I mean, this is a tragedy. People could not post selfies. I mean,
that is a tragedy.
Prayers out to.
Should we give a moment of silence for those individuals?
It was tough. It was tough times. But this is going to continue because Mercury is in retrograde, and that has something to do with communications. Now, even if you're not into astrology, because the Torah and I believe the Bible as well says don't look into that stuff. And what I think it means, but I'm pretty ignorant, but I think what it means is don't put your faith in it, put your faith in God. I think that's what it means. But there is some truth to a full moon. When there's a full moon, people are crazier. Like, this is science. You got to, I don't even want to say the put words together there, but Mercury goes into retrograde in Aries. Aries is the god of war. So a lot of astrologers are pointing that this is going to be a month of total disorder. Now, with order and chaos comes order. So this month there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff. We got the Civil War movie coming out, this April 8th thing, CERN firing up. My eyes are on South Dakota, Mount Rushmore. I'm going to see if my hypothesis is right, that the dark matter that they're digging in South Dakota is connected with CERN. Cat Williams just went on his dark matter tour. He was probably the most Googled man this year so far. All this dark matter stuff, even the symbolism in food products resemble what they show us what is dark matter, this blue and purple, blue and pink, which is also connected to transhumanism as well. Yes, Rice, I think you were going to say something.
I'm just going to ask, was it your birthday, or is it your birthday? Is your birthday around this time period?
In my birthday.
Is it today?
No, it's actually in February, but everybody says happy birthday to me. So it's my birthday like all the time.
Nice.
I'm like 5,000 years old.
It'll be my birthday in like 22 days, 29th of April. Yeah, I'll be 49 years old on April 29th.
29th of April.
Yeah, but
my calendar, Rice
but
birthday.
49 is the insane thing.
49ers. That's a good number.
And then 49? a year and some change, I'll be the big 50. I'll be like 50.
You're in the Shemitah year in your life right now. You're in the 49 Shemitah, and then the 50 will be the Jubilee.
My Jubilee is next year. Yeah, nice.
Yes.
And that's that might coincide with our crypto.
Then you could share some of your crypto over on my wallet.
100%, dude. 100%. 100%. I am definitely going to be paying attention to South Dakota.
I think it's so cool that we met like when I was doing video production, but like we didn't even know each other. And look at us now.
And I was so spastic at that point, though, because of what was going on. We were at a crypto conference. It was like 3 different events. 2019, there was the Litecoin Summit.
No, this was way before that. This was the Halloween one. This was like,
yeah, no, these happened in Halloween. The World Crypto Con, which is what he was. It was Jeff Berwick was supposed to speak, and they ended up pulling Berwick. And I saw Chris, and the reason I ran into Chris and talked to him was because of what they were doing to Berwick, trying to get content creators, especially someone who was a bigger content creator, to support what was going on and say, hey, we're not going to participate if you're going to kick out somebody who shouldn't be kicked out of the conference, be kicked out of being able to speak.
Why was he removed?
Because he's very controversial and he's an anarchist, and I think they just realized that they want to try to be as politically correct as possible.
Well, there's probably some New World Order stuff going on.
It could have been,
because looking back at it, like you had like some big players there.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I mean, and look at Berwick. I mean, Berwick has been he's still being very, very outspoken. I mean, there was a hurricane that happened in Mexico not too long ago that he helped with, and it was in Acapulco, where it turned into like a category 5, like within like an hour and a half time.
Bro, yeah.
And then it just left. And then it just hit and left. Pretty crazy. And then like a few weeks, maybe a month before that, there was a hurricane that was called Max that actually went through and right over top. Apparently the path of it went right over top of why am I drawing a blank? Max Egan's home. And Max Egan lives in a city right above Acapulco.
Well, so my homie went to his like place, wherever you're talking about, and he did the most amount of the frog venom that anybody's ever done. So my homie did the most amount ever. I got pictures and all that.
That's insane. Were you out there for that? Did you go to Max's place when you were in Mexico?
No, okay. I went to Cabo on the peninsula. I'm a peninsula man. I love Singapore, Miami, Cabo. It's where I'm supposed to be.
Nice. Okay, so a few things I wanted to ask you in regards to this eclipse, and I had a couple images that I had pulled up because I thought it was very interesting. And you also being wicked smart, you're also a Hebrew. You're kosher.
Baruch Hashem.
I'm
kosher.
You're kosher. Yeah, you are kosher. I'm glad I didn't have a chance to check it out. Is that like some Matisyahu stuff?
Nah, Mas Yahoo kind of whack. But no, this is BLP Kosha.
Is it reggae though? Because I see the colors.
Nah, wow, 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 no. That cracker broke. Well, no, that's a, no. He said, I used to work at Five Below, but now I keep that Five Below. His wordplay. I ain't Irish, but my money Dublin. I mean, the guy is a genius. And then I was at the show yesterday, and Kodak Black was like there. I mean, it was crazy because this is a small concert. This guy's not like big at all, and he brought out a major artist, which it's like all Florida connection. It was crazy, bro. It was tight, and like it's all young people there, so it makes me feel kind of hip that I'm still like cool with music.
Did you have your cane with you?
I felt also old because I mosh pitted, pushing all the little kids on the floor. You know, I'm like, well, you know, and I'm getting winded. I'm like, oh, I'm getting tired, and I'm like oldest one here. I'm like, I need to settle down, and like get married or something, and just chill out.
Time to get married.
But yeah, so the whole heifer thing, the red heifer, I spoke with the rabbis, and I was like, yo, what up with this? This is kind of weird. Like, what's going on? And they said that well, my friend, he's a rabbi. I'm just making it sound like it was a conspiracy. I asked my friend, and he was like, he's like, nah, he doesn't watch the news or anything, but he's like, no, that ain't gonna happen because they don't sacrifice a red heifer until the temple is like built, and like they're not even building it. But it's not until it's built.
It's not like a consecration before the building of the temple.
If it is, they would have to have it already like built. That's from my understanding what he told me. So I think this is all just like
I thought it was like a commemoration to like, hey, we're going to begin. So here is this bountiful sacrifice of these perfect red heifers.
No, that's not what I was told.
Okay.
So it'd be interesting to see who's right.
It will be interesting. So I wanted to ask you from that Hebrew perspective, if we look at what happened, and I'm putting more weight to the total solar eclipses, not the October 2023 annular solar eclipse. I mean, I know it's a solar eclipse, but there's a different energy with a total solar eclipse. So the two totals, the last one that we had was in 2017. The two total solar eclipses form this X, which, if I'm not mistaken, that is also the Tav. It's a Hebrew letter.
I did hear that. I heard about Tav and Aleph, and it was an interesting connection because it's something
it's the crazy. Sorry, the crazy thing about this, the Tav, is it's the last letter in the Hebrew alphabet. So it's not Omega, but and then when you take in conjunction with that, and then you look at adding in the 23, the October 23, it gets the Aleph. So it's like the first and last letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And I know, I mean, some people can say that that's coincidence, but then there's like, you know, this devil.
But I'm looking at Tav right now because I know how to read Hebrew. I just don't understand it.
I think it's ancient Hebrew.
Yeah, so it's ancient Hebrew.
Right
so
here.
Yeah,
right
so I only know modern Hebrew of the Tav,
which is this.
So what would be the ancient Hebrew of Aleph? Because the ancient Hebrew of Aleph is where we get A, and it's so crazy because it's connected to the bull and the bull horns. So like
right here.
A, yeah. So that A, those are the bull horns, or the Taurus, right? The Torah, the Taurus, the horns, Moses horns, and all that. Like, but A is the same thing. Our A in our alphabet is the two horns for the cow, you know what I mean, or the bull. I mean, that's always crazy, but that's crazy. So that's Tav, which looks like a cross or an X.
That's the old, yeah, the paleo, the old.
That's a good connection because I've been connecting the alpha and the omega to the collapse of the currency. So if you look on the dollar bill, their alpha president, the first president, George Washington, the alpha is in an omega logo. So it's the alpha and the omega. Omega is the 24th letter in the Greek alphabet. So 24 is also X. We have this X over the eclipse right there. So there's all this connection to the numbers and letters. So Alpha and Omega, man, I think it has something to do with the
Well, it's not
collapse.
Omega, but it is first and last. Now, Omega would be last, but Omega is the. But I guess in a sense, if it's the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, it would be equivalent to what Omega is in the Greek.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, it first and last. I mean, and that's sometimes that's how people refer to God in the name, like the Alpha and
I
the
am the
Omega.
Alpha and the Omega. Right.
Yeah. So it's like it's crazy. Like that's what I'm
a good
saying. So
catch.
is this something that's like really a biblical prophecy? You know, and then the other thing that we have is this return of the devil comet, which is aligning with this. Now, do you know what and why they call this devil comet the devil comet?
Yeah, because it makes the devil horns as it goes by. And it used to be called like the Millennium Falcon before, because it used to look like that. Then it changed, and now they're calling it like the Dragon Mother or something now. But it's the Devil Comet. And if you look at Mountain Dew Pitch Black Edition, there's a Devil Comet in there. It's the devil horns in a comet. And I even think Archaics, I'm not sure, but he's been posting pictures how the eclipse and the comet, there's a big connection to that and earthquakes, and he got a lot of those predictions right with.
Well, that's interesting. And then we see this is also a fault line itself, the
New Madrid fault line. Yeah.
So I got a video, man, and I sped up, but it's like 2.5 minutes. I want to play it real quick. It's a clip explaining a little bit about the devil comet and the fact that it's because it's been something like 70 years since this comet has passed our planet. And the fact that the same day as a solar eclipse, it's going to be doing, I learned something new. It's doing something that's called perihelion, which is the closest that a comet, an asteroid, or a planet gets to the sun in its rotational path. So just so happens that the same day of the eclipse, this comet that they now are calling or have referred to as Devil Comet because it's got horns is going to be taking place on the same day, and you could potentially see it. And it's like when you look at this, you see a few things, you could be like, oh, that's really interesting coincidence. But then you put together all this other stuff that we're talking about, and there's no way it's coincidence. I'm gonna play this real quick.
Supernatural.
Very supernatural.
It's supernatural.
Super?
It's supernatural.
With the TH. Okay, it's supernatural.
And also look at you see the rings around there, right? The ring of fire. Mm-hmm. Well, that is also called the crown, right? And there's a connection to us being sent to our rooms for the last few years and the crown. Yes. Yes. And what are the odds of the moon and the sun being like the exact same size?
It's crazy. No. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, it's not that it's that the size of the distance and the size in combination. But I kind of wonder what, like, when we I know the Bible in Genesis, it talks about the sun and the moon being created, but I can send you some videos.
And it also says that we can't reach the moon. It says that.
You have to show me that. I'm not saying that you're.
And it says it's a light. It's a lesser light.
Oh yeah, like a luminary. So with that being said, and I can send you some videos, but some people are talking about the idea that the moon is like a ship and it's man-made, and it's.
I think so. Yeah.
And it's actually it's what we've considered Mount Olympus in the past, and that is where Apollyon, Satan, Lucifer, whatever you want to call this entity, resides. And that's why so many people, because if you think about the Eye of Ra, if that thing was going on and Ra's a former representation of the same entity, it's kind of like, and then after I show you this thing about the devil comet, actually, hold on real quick. Let me make sure.
The sun is masculine, so it's masculine, and the moon is feminine.
This is going to mess you up. It messed me up. I think I mentioned Trey Parker. I think not Trey Parker.
Oh, Trey Parker.
Trey Smith. Trey Smith from God in a Nutshell. He's got a YouTube channel, and he put out a video today talking about the eclipse. And I found it to be extremely fascinating. I'm not going to play the sound. I'm just going to play the video here so you can see an image. But he was talking about the Space Force logo and making an X. And if you look, it's on the United States, and it's kind of almost.
Oh, wow. That's a great catch.
Now, that was interesting, but that's not even the really interesting part.
Making the X. I got to screenshot that.
Well, I'll send you the video. But it's Trey Smith's YouTube channel, God in a Nutshell. Great information, puts out some great videos. But check this out, dude. This is the seal of Satan. Have you seen that before?
I have.
Okay, now wait till you see what he's comparing this to. This blew me away. What do you see in that image, just out of curiosity? Do you see anything that's sticking out?
I'm now seeing an X, which I never noticed before.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, so the sun is Satan.
Well, I'm just saying, like, isn't that really interesting? Well, the moon would be where Satan's
there's
residing.
the moon. Okay, so that's the sun. That's the moon. How did he find that? That's crazy.
Is that not? Does that not look like the seal of Satan is a resemblance of a total solar eclipse?
Bro, and like everything like they do in NASA is satanic, like with the 666 miles away or something.
Yeah.
And everything's spinning at 666 miles, like all that. That's crazy.
I want to drop a link for this.
Too.
Yeah, I'll drop a link for this in the chat, and then I'll also drop it in the private chat as well for you. So it's in the comments and it is in the private chat. So
that's dope.
I want to drop it over on the Rumble side too. So I got it going. Again, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, it'd be greatly appreciated if you do take an opportunity to do that. Doenut, I want to play that video real quick. Like I said, it's about 2 minutes, 20 seconds talking about the Devil Comet.
Nice.
Then the Devil Comet Pons Brooks will traverse the sky. Its timing is impeccable, gracing our solar system for the first time in over 70 years. Astronomers and sky watchers alike are buzzing with anticipation over this comet, known for its bright nucleus and sweeping tail, which will be visible in the darkened sky created by the eclipse. The coinciding of the comet's appearance in the solar eclipse represents an extraordinarily rare event, sparking significant interest and discussion among various religious communities. Comets have long been viewed as harbingers of change, omens of significant events to come. In ancient times, their appearances were recorded and revered, often seen as messages from the divine. The solar eclipse, too, has its place both biblically and historically, viewed by many cultures as a powerful symbol of transformation and renewal. Why is P12 Pons Brooks called the Devil Comet? Well, in late July 2023, the comet experienced an outburst, releasing a significant amount of gas and dust, suddenly brightening by 100 times. This sudden surge in brightness, leaping from magnitude 17 to magnitude 12 overnight, caught the attention of astronomers. Although comet outbursts are generally unpredictable and rare, once researchers closely monitored P12 Pons Brooks, they discovered that these particular comets can exhibit such behavior multiple times during their orbit. During this outburst, the comet's coma, the cloud of gas and dust surrounding its nucleus, took on a peculiar shape, resembling a horseshoe or horns, with a dark center and bright wings or points. This distinct appearance led many media outlets to dub it the Devil Comet. Following the outburst, the comet returned to a more tranquil state, maintaining a steady brightness until early January, when once again it experienced another outburst, rekindling the horn-like formation. Astronomers have not pinpointed the exact cause of these horn-like structures, but they speculate that uneven expulsion of gas and dust from the comet's surface could contribute. It's possible that certain regions of the comet aren't emitting material uniformly, leaving some areas darker while adjacent regions appear brighter. Alternatively, it could be a shadow effect, or variations in the comet's terrain obscure some of the bright material from our vantage point. Whatever the explanation, this phenomena is scientifically intriguing, as it is inherent to the comet's unique characteristics. When Comet Pons Brooks reaches its closest point to the Sun, known as perihelion, it does so from a distance of 0.8 astronomical units, equivalent to about 74.4 million miles from Earth.
Oh, Doenut must have dropped out. I didn't even realize that he had left. Something must have happened to his internet, so we'll just bear with for a moment. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already smashed that like button, it'd be greatly appreciated if you take an opportunity to do so. I'm also, while I have a moment here, I'm going to go ahead and pull up on screen. We have Doenut's website. If you guys have not checked it out, for people who are watching on the right side, check out Doenut's website at do-nut.com. You can also get links for his Patreon channel right there as well. Follow him on the Twitter X at The Real Doenut. I've got links for his YouTube channel as well as his Rumble channel. If you guys are watching over on the Doenut side, if you guys are coming from the Doenut side, I greatly appreciate. Make sure you're checking out my website, ricetvx.com. You could sign up for my mailing list, stay ahead of censorship. You can actually watch both my YouTube channels directly on my website. And you can also join Rice Uncensored, where you'll get access to both of my YouTube channels, early access on edited videos, no ads, exclusive content. I got a forum on there. I'm going to be doing live streams, and you can have direct access to myself. So let me come back to the screen and see if Doenut has rejoined us. It looks like he is with us. What's up, my friend?
Yo, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. What happened?
My internet went out again. It's been out for 3 days.
What's going on in your area? Or are they targeting you?
Nothing. Nothing, bro. I'm telling you, it's Mercury retrograde. So 2 days ago, I'd had a show. My internet went out for over 24 hours. Then the next day, it was up for 8 hours. And then the guy I was going to podcast with on the other side of America, his internet went out. Then my internet went out and it's back up. And now it just went back out.
I've had some like...
It could be the internet apocalypse.
It could be the internet apocalypse. I have had semi-degraded service. Are you like rebooting your Wi-Fi, your internet, your computer, any of that kind of stuff?
I'm not, because this same thing happened the last 2-3 days, and the rebooting doesn't do anything. There's something weird going on. Something strange is approaching.
Well, I know you wanted to do a screen share. That sucks. Do you think you can log in on your computer and not use your camera, and we could do a screen share that way?
Let me see.
You could technically use
I haven't exited out of I haven't exited out of any of the slides, so they should still be available. Let me see. Yeah, they're still available.
Yeah, you're not logged in.
I could do this.
And then you'd have to make sure that you mute the one on your computer, so that way you don't get that doubling effect, and we all just end up going wobbly ourselves.
I'm trying to get the camera to go the other way.
If it's a problem, just let me know, bro, and we just won't do it. And also, I don't know if you if you try turning your phone sideways, if that'll help. But are you going to be able to stream on your phone for any length of time?
Oh man, thank you for saying that, because my battery low on here. But let me see if I could. I wish I could.
Everything is working against trying to make sure that we don't talk about this eclipse that's going on tomorrow and all this crazy stuff with NASA launching rockets named evil slithering gods. We have CERN about to open up a black hole on our planet. We might have an
plug the phone in.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just trying to kill a little bit of time here. And again, I do appreciate everybody for taking the time to tune in. We got over 230 people watching, which I greatly appreciate. Once again, we are streaming on my X account. It looks like we've got about 82 people watching over there. I'm trying to see what we have going on. About 150 people or so watching on the YouTube side. And it looks like about 30 or 40 people watching over on the Rumble side. So thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. I greatly appreciate you. I do have an older video of me and Doenut that is on my Rice Against the Grain YouTube channel. The previous ones I've done, you can find on my Odyssey channel. I am going to be going through and re-uploading some of the older content that was formerly on my YouTube channel, Rice Crypto, that had all of my content before I broke up the content and split it up into 2 channels because of the censorship. I myself have been getting a lot of strikes in the past, a lot of issues because of the content that I called Stranger Than Fiction. And the Stranger Than Fiction stuff is what I ended up turning into the channel that you guys are watching now on YouTube, called Rice Against the Grain. But Rice Against the Grain, Rice Crypto, all part of Rice TVX. It's all fam. It's all fam. So how you looking over there, brother?
I unplugged the router, plugged it back in, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. Are you did you put some power on your phone so you don't die that way? Your phone doesn't die?
Yeah, we good.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, sorry
Okay.
about that.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, if we cannot screen share anything you have, it's totally good because I mean you're wicked smart. You're wicked smart, and then we got lots of stuff that we could talk about. So what are your
Right.
thoughts though? Like do you think that anything is going to take place to like extraordinary outside of what we've already mentioned on April 8th? Or do you think that they're just building up all this hype and something else is going to happen on a different day? I don't know if you watched that video I did with Waters Above or if you've been watching any of his stuff, but he's saying April 15th. He's calling for April
That's
15th.
when
He's been
the
saying this.
Titanic sank.
Well,
Yeah, the
it's when an
Titanic.
April 15th falls on a Monday. So the Titanic
Right.
sank when April 15th fell on a Monday. So he has this whole list of things that have taken place on April 15th on Mondays. It's not just any April 15th. So and that's
Right. I
coming
remember that. Yeah.
Monday. Then he also
Yes.
I'm not sure how to decipher half of what he puts up, but he put up this. Let me get rid of my logo for a second. He put up this on Twitter. And it's talking about April 9th. I guess it's April 9th.
And that's the U.S. death clock.
Right. He took the picture from that, saying that April 9th, 1940 is when the Nazis invaded Denmark and Norway. He's also saying that the Hebrew and Gregorian calendar synchronized April 9th, but I thought it was April 8th. But either way, that's pretty interesting because that's Nisan 1, and that is kind of like the first day of the year on the Hebrew calendar.
Right.
So yeah, I really wasn't sure what to make of this. And he did have something about the Great American Eclipse forming an X over the US, the X being the 24th letter in the alphabet. It's the Hebrew year of 5784, which adds up to 24. 24 days, he puts Putin in. He says 24 days between Putin's re-election and April 9th. Vladimir Putin was born in a year of a dragon. We're currently in a year of a dragon. April 9th, 2024 is 33 years and 300 days since Russia's Independence Day. And this April 8th solar eclipse is 33 days from May 10th, the key date of World War II, when the Nazis invaded France, Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands, as well as the day Winston Churchill became the British Prime Minister. He put together some pretty interesting information. So, yeah, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow, man? Are you anticipating anything?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at South Dakota because South Dakota is where Sioux Falls is. And CERN was activated in 2022, and Sioux Falls turned green. So my eyes, I always like to do what everyone else isn't doing. So when everybody was watching the elections in the nomination of the greatest president that's ever existed, Joe Biden, I didn't watch that. I like to not follow the crowd. So everyone's going to be looking at the eclipse. I'm going to be looking at Mount Rushmore to see if that place turns green or if there's some rituals to go down. Now, this whole month, I don't think it's just this one day. I think this whole month is going to be full of disorder. And April 15th is perfect for it being the Titanic Day because the Titanic was connected to the Federal Reserve and JP Morgan. And you had two people on the Titanic who were opposing it. They sank with the ship. And so the Titanic even snapped in half at 2:18 a.m., a lot of reports say. And that's the exact time that Joe Biden sent out his emergency text at 2:18, which has this 128 code in it, like the bridge collapsed at 128. The Twin Towers started to collapse at 10:28, 128. The Leave the World Behind was released on 12/8, 128. Sioux Falls, Mount Rushmore, it's got Thomas Jefferson on it, right? They control alt delete the Native Americans and put the founding fathers on there. And Thomas Jefferson was around during the eclipse when that earthquake in the Madrid stuff happened and that connection there. And these cicadas are being released from the ground. They're in the ground, tripping on mushrooms right now, and they're going to be released 200 years later. The last time this happened, Thomas Jefferson was around. And there's this new story out that these cicadas are zombie STDs. So they're these zombie cicadas with fungus of STDs going to be released. It's a crazy article that they're bringing up, but it goes into the zombie deers, the zombie shows, the fungus zombies, and Leave the World Behind. Not that one show, the fungus zombies.
Listen, I saw
And
something
so-
earlier today. I saw something earlier today about the cicadas, and this one guy was saying that the only thing they're going to be doing is singing their hearts out and peeing. Apparently, like when they fly, they emit some sort of liquid. I don't know. So maybe that has something to do with, like, maybe if there is going to be, because I mean, they don't all have to be natural. They definitely don't have to be natural. And I did put together just this is like maybe a 45-second video talking about the cicada stuff and what's rare about it. So let me play that real quick.
Billions of cicadas are expected to emerge this spring. The cicadas will be spotted in at least a dozen states, mostly in the Midwest and Southeast. This year will feature a rare double brood emergence that hasn't been seen since Thomas Jefferson was president and won't happen again until 2245. The cicadas will emerge when soil temperatures 8 inches deep reach 64 degrees Fahrenheit, likely around mid-May, and last for about 6 weeks. While cicadas may be loud, and there will be lots of them, scientists say they are harmless. They won't bite or sting you or your pets. They're even safe for dogs and humans to eat.
I like that part at the very end. They're even safe for dogs and humans to eat. And I saw that very, very professional transition that you did there, right there. People didn't even know, but you magically appeared on another camera. It was like you almost like maybe CERN did something in your bedroom.
Yeah, it's a lot like martial arts, you know, when it comes to video production.
Check your microphone. I'm not sure which microphone is picking up on.
My bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, it's a lot like martial arts when you're a video artist or whatever it is, that you got to make it seem effortless, although it takes a lot of work.
You did a great job, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
So you have a presentation that you want to share?
Yeah, sure. I'll bring those slides up. Share screen.
Again, I appreciate everybody taking the time to tune in. If you're not subscribed already to both of our YouTube channels and Rumble channels, I would greatly appreciate it. And I got links down below for donut stuff in the video description.
Yeah, I wonder if I got so many slides up.
I can see you have like, how many tabs is that? Like maybe 76?
It's got to be about 200, 300 tabs.
Well, nice. You got me. I mean, you definitely got me beat, because I have like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I have 27 tabs open.
Yes. So
Gatorade.
Yeah, Mercury's in Gatorade right now.
Ironically, I was drinking some Gator Light.
And well, this is what I was saying, that when Mercury goes into Gatorade on April 1st, communications get messed up. And this is well documented. And that's when, you know, that terrible event happened on April 1st, where Instagram was down and people could not access Instagram. Absolutely tragic. But could this be part of the internet apocalypse with these solar storms? And I think it's very nice to show Gatorade, because you got Mountain Dew that does a lot of this predictive programming on it. Even Mountain Dew's got this like solar eclipse. Mountain Dew be doing the predictive programming.
What is what is it specifically that, besides pitch black? I mean, what is it about Mountain Dew that's doing programming? I mean, obviously it's owned by Pepsi, And Pepsi's part of the corporate world, obviously.
Right. And Pepsi is named after a Pep, right? And that's the name of the rockets. Here's Capri Sun. Capri is also.
I saw you talking about that. Where'd you learn that from?
I learned that from Paranoid American.
Okay.
Really wicked smart guy.
Now we've talked or we've communicated in messages. Me and him need to connect. Same thing with Tommy Truthful. A lot of your crew I need to link up with.
Yes. He's great. But here's like the Book of the Law. This is Aleister Crowley's Book of the Law. And he summoned Ayahuasca right here on the day of this eclipse, April 8th through the 10th. So there's a lot of occult stuff. And let's not forget that the rocket program goes back to sex magic, right? The rocket is a phallic. And you got L. Ron Hubbard and also the other guy, Jack Parsons, doing the Babylon workings, doing the sex magic rituals in the desert. So this is all coming from the Book of the Law, where on that date of the eclipse, April 8th, they summon Ayahuasca. So I believe it's very satanic what is happening for sure.
Yeah, and I mean it's obviously taking use of this really not I mean the thing about the total solar eclipses, I mean it happens so often, so it's not 100% rare, but just all the combination of things that are happening on that day, definitely I can see why they're using that energy.
Yeah, but I'm focused on CERN because CERN is.
Does that mean you're concerned?
I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm not. I'm actually not concerned at all. But yeah, I like that. But Doja Cat, for example, she's trending right now. She got a new video out called Mask, and she's on her Scarlet tour. And she's working with the Swifties. My prediction is on April 19th, there's going to be an earthquake. And that's the release of Taylor Swift's new album, the Tortured Poet Society, which is named after a secret society of the Dead Poet Society with Robin Williams in it, where the men would put on lipstick and go into caves to get the hidden knowledge.
You said April 19th?
April 19th is what I'm looking out for because it's when Waco happened. It's when Oklahoma happened. The next day is 420. There's a whole eclipse thing with that, with the rise of the third realm. It's such an occult holiday. Both days are April 19th, the day the Simpsons episode first aired, the original one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, and it's National Bicycle Day, which goes into the schizogenics of the MK Ultra of LSD, and that goes in back even further. This isn't anything new from the 70s, shaping the culture. This goes back to the Eleusinian mysteries, where they would get the barley and hallucinate, and even with the cult of Mithra as well. So this has been connected forever. That's why I like to stay sober. Because I feel like if you're sober, it's 100% honest, because what kind of influence of mind-altering influence of different chemicals entering us. Now, I can't be 100% sober because I'm eating, let's say, food or fast food. What kind of chemicals are in that is changing my mind? You know what I mean? So, but for the most part, I am pretty sober, and I feel like that's the most honest you can get. And even the Bible, it says, stay sober, stay vigilant. And I don't know what I'm talking about. What am I?
Dude, I mean, listen, I mean, as you're talking, I'm thinking too, like the old term for alcohol, specifically liquor, was spirits. In some places in the South, you might see them also still refer to them as spirits. So why would they refer to these alcoholic beverages as being spirits if in fact they didn't potentially invite spirits, encompass spirits, or at least you're in a relaxed state and your defenses may not be up spiritually, and it allows for things to maybe enter or influence you? So it totally makes sense, man.
but I'm no saint, bro. I'm on so much nicotine and caffeine.
I mean, I smoke cannabis, and I'm on nicotine.
And I got nothing wrong with that. I'm not like against it at all, whatsoever.
To
I have
each
a
their
problem.
own, and people have to be able to handle themselves, and we all have our
can't
own
handle
internal
myself.
struggles.
I wake up and the first thing I want to do is get drunk. Not anymore, but that's
Dude, I'm proud of you. No, I'm proud of you. You still are you still doing the program stuff?
Yeah, I'm still sober. I got.
Well, I know you're sober. Are you still doing the program stuff? Like, are you still attending meetings like you were in the past?
Oh yeah. It's a everyday recovery is a lifelong journey. It's one day at a time, but it is lifelong.
I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah, because like resting on laurels doesn't work. I do it all the time, where I get all spiritual, and then I'm like, man, I did so many good things. I'm so spiritual, and I take a break from it, and that's called resting on the laurels. And that means that you're going to be screwed because every day we get reset. It's a reset every day, and it's based on your spiritual way of life. If you're going to be happy, have serenity or not. So if I screw someone over, my serenity going to be gone. That's why you see people that are very angry and they can live angry and live that angry life because they have so much baggage that if they screw someone over, it doesn't even matter because they screw so many people over. So you got to look out for these people because they have a skeleton, a collection of skeletons, a graveyard of people that they screwed over. So when they screw someone else over, it doesn't really matter to them. And that's like a big city. And that's how I used to be in Vegas. Vegas was such a big city. You could be robbing people and
there's no way I would live there. I thought about there is absolutely no way I would live in Las Vegas.
Right. And so I grew up there. So I always thought the world was so big. And it wasn't until I moved to a very, very small community of less than 1,000 people that I realized that the world is actually very, very small, that we're all connected, and that your reputation gets around. So it's been interesting. But yeah, that's it on that.
No, you're good, man.
I'm being preachy right now.
I mean, dude, I mean, for one, I appreciate, what you've done with your life. I think it's a good example for others that need to, and honestly, dude, it may be something that somebody needs to hear. Sometimes that's how.
Good point.
Sometimes that's how things work. So if you had a notion,
it's one of the number one things of depopulation is the opioid crisis. So, the opioid crisis that's happening, that's
Living Dead. The Walking Dead, excuse me. Walking Dead.
But I mean,
people at the methadone clinics and
it's so dangerous. Yeah. I mean, people passing away left and right.
It is sad.
Yeah, but that goes into the Illuminati plans of a long time with alcohol. Like even Aleister Crowley, his family, they ran alcohol companies. Like a lot of these alcohol companies are big Illuminati companies, whether that's Ciroc with Puff Daddy or 50 Cent's brand or Jay-Z's brand, which has the Knights Templar logo on it. That's a way to destroy society.
Well, it's a way to put more spirits out there, right?
Yeah, but I'm preaching right now, and that's not good.
I can imagine you actually being a preacher. The Church of Doenut.
I'd be so funny, bro. I'd be like, all right, we gonna start off today with a joke.
So what are we looking at here, man?
This is Leave the World Behind. And it's not an eclipse. A lot of people say this is an eclipse, but it's not. At least it's not a moon eclipse. It's the sun going. It's not an eclipse, but it is an eclipse of the Earth. So it's an Earth eclipse, but it's not the moon eclipse. But this was in the movie. It had no point being in the movie, and they showed it. Maybe there.
Yeah, I don't recall. Where was it at in the movie?
It was just in the movie.
Just randomly, they just went to a scene that showed this.
Yes, and some say that they took out parts of it because this could be part of the fake moon landing stuff, but who
Okay.
knows?
Right.
Who knows? But Leave the World Behind, their cyber incident map right here is where the Francis Key Scott Bridge collapsed, and it was a hot spot in the movie. So these are all the hot spots in the movie for these things to happen. But this bridge collapse was super interesting because Mountain Dew released the Star Spangled Splash. Splash, splash.
So
water.
the bridge named after the author of the Star Spangled Banner went splash.
Yeah, so that's weird. And I learned that from Anya Saru. So I got to give him credit where credit's due. But this bridge collapsed and it was imitating the exact scene. Looks so similar to that scene of Predictive Programming.
Wow.
And this was released on 128, and the bridge collapsed at 128. In Gematria, you write bridge collapse, it'll say 128. Her birthday's on 10/28, 128. It's just crazy. But the color coding, everyone's looking up at the eclipse. Don't look up. This weird color coding is in all of the eclipse food products. It's this pink, blue stuff. Here's the space junk.
Is that what Mountain Dew is using for the pitch black or no?
It's very similar. It's very similar. But all these food products are using this event, the eclipse donut. But these are the satanic donuts connected to the Templar and the Templars and all that. But it's connected to blackouts, I believe, right? This is the blackout cake by Oreo. This came out a while ago. And this day, I'm not even going to get into this, but it's connected but to transhumanism. But all of them are using the same color coding on these food products. So
yeah, it's like a filter almost.
Yeah. And maybe they're all under the same umbrella of PepsiCo, but they're all using this color coding, which I believe is connected to dark matter. So,
and which got to circle back, that's what CERN is trying to get access to or understand more with their experiments with their large hadron collider.
Yes. So this is a picture of dark matter, and I think it looks very similar to all of it. It just looks the same of what they're showing, the same colors. And that's why I'm led to look at Sioux Falls. Even Cat Williams, his is the dark matter tour. But in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, they're searching for dark matter. There's all these teams underground searching out this dark matter. And this is when they turned CERN on in 2022. This happened. The place turned green. It was an aurora borealis. So
in South Dakota.
Yeah.
Wow. Which is something would normally be like in Alaska. Maybe the
right.
North Pole.
The aurora borealis. Yeah. So this happened. So this is just one of the connections that I made on my own with it in 2022. So this is like 2 years ago. So I'm sticking with it to see if there's pattern recognition.
Do you know anything about something called a desertron that's in I'm going to butcher this, but Waxahachie, Texas?
No, that's interesting.
This guy had, and I got your stuff still here, so I'm going to keep it on screen.
Time machine?
This guy posted this. He posted something on a comment on my YouTube channel, and then he went on to the X, the Twitter, and posted it. And it says, the eclipse passes over the desertron in Waxahachie, Texas, 3 times bigger than CERN. Nobody spends $21 billion on a hole in the ground for nothing. He claims that it might be the pit of the abyss, the pit, which is mentioned in Revelation. I don't know if that's true. But I don't know. And then I noticed when he posted this, and it goes back to synchronicity, because this is like the second time today that I had seen this symbol is the same.
Oh, I thought
symbol
you
that
added that in there.
No, I didn't know. This is something this guy did all on his own, and he gives this whole thing about. There's some stuff here on the side. The next thing that happens is 88 miles per hour on April 9th. That's when you're going to see some serious stuff. And then there's a list of things here that have taken place on April 9th. And then he says Texas then passes over the biggest particle collider in the world in Waxahachie, aka the Desertron. This is the location of the 17th letter Anon, aka Tyler the Quantum AI. Yeah, I mean, some people can stretch things and have wild imaginations. Maybe there's something to some of this. I don't know. I just figured.
I'm a big believer in stretching.
But I would look into this Desertron thing.
Yeah, it's called the Superconducting Super Collider.
Interesting. So you're looking it up?
Yeah. This is it right here in
Waxahachie. Actually, I think I said it really well. I thought I was gonna like butcher it, but Waxahachie.
It's a particle accelerator.
But is it bigger than CERN?
Well, I mean, it is like a CERN, you know. It's
but he was saying it's the biggest one in the world. I just wonder I wonder if we were to look at like the circumference and the dimensions that it has listed there. But I know CERN is like, I don't know if they're in the process of building something bigger and new, or if they've already done it and that's what they're going to be messing around with tomorrow.
Dang. I'm gonna have to look into it.
So this is like a CERN in the United States, in Texas, in the vicinity of where the paths from the October 2023 and tomorrow's eclipse, which would be the bottom portion that you see on your screen there in Tejas, in Texas.
Can't mess with Texas. All my exes are from Texas.
So are you going to get, what percentage of totality are you getting where you're at? Is it 40%? It looks like.
Yeah, it's nothing. I'm in Arizona, so I ain't getting.
I'm thinking I'm right on the line of 80 and 60. That's I have to look at that a little bit deeper, but
see where South Dakota is? That's what I'm looking out for. Because everyone's gonna be looking over here. I'm gonna be looking over there.
But do you think it'll happen tomorrow in South Dakota, or you just think something is going to happen in South Dakota?
It happened the same day that CERN was turned on. So when CERN is activated, though, we got to remember it's like a day ahead of us. Over in wherever it is, Switzerland or wherever, or
they're like somewhere maybe around 9 hours ahead, I think, in Switzerland from the East Coast. Let me see.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting. Are they activating it today, like right now? Because it's April 8th there, probably right now.
No, yeah, I don't know. Let me see. The article that I have, let me see if it says a time. Yeah, I don't think it really is giving any in this particular article that I've got, which everything I'm screen sharing is linked down below, but it's not showing a time. It's just saying April 8th. And yeah, that could be, let's see. Let me look and see what time it is in Switzerland. And I don't know if there's multiple
this is what's weird. That 3-Body Problem show that was released by Game of Thrones, like the hugest, biggest show producers ever. And it's all about CERN as
well. It's like six hours ahead of me, so I think 9 hours ahead of you. It's technically Monday, April 8th there right now. It's 1:11 a.m. in Switzerland. It's GMT plus 2.
I got the website up here. Where is it? That would tell us if it's activated.
Oh, is there like a countdown?
It just right here. This is it. So this is CERN. So it's like alive. So there's no beam on right now, but it is the 8th in CERN right now.
It is right because it's 1:12 a.m.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So this is The
That's
live.
for me, that would be from 7 to midnight's 5. So that's 6 hours ahead for me, and you're 3 hours behind me. So it should be 9 hours. So yeah, because it's like quarter after 4 for you. It's almost
Right.
4:20. It's almost 4:15. And then it'll be 4:19.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they go on at 128 or something like that. But I'm gonna keep an eye out on this. I should just record the screen of this. I like how it looks so old.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it looks like some 1980s stuff, like you see, like on like one of the very first computers made. If you can, send me a link to that.
I'll drop it right now.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'd like to pay attention to it.
Yeah, I like showing like that like real stuff with it. Like, yeah, that's tight. Yeah, I dropped it in the private chat.
Yeah, no, I saw it. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, it's the CERN website. I wonder, does it say on here? It says stop on Monday at 7 a.m. I don't know if it says when it's going to turn on. When are they going to turn on the hard-on collider, the large hard-on?
The large hard-on collider. Yeah, we got to make sure we're keeping intact with it being ginormous.
So we saw how like Sioux Falls turned, and this is Sioux Falls, like Mount Rushmore, South Dakota, you know, and Thomas Jefferson is all about this eclipse. So this eclipse, and he died on July 4th. The cicadas, the last time it was during Thomas Jefferson's presidency.
We'll have a zombie Thomas Jefferson come out during the cicadas.
Yeah, and this is like the map of where they're going to be spreading the fungus STD stuff.
Yeah, I mean, North Carolina is in there. I'm just not sure, like, if, like, where. Pull up on screen the. Yeah, let me.
North Carolina, come on and raise up, take your shirt off.
It looks really congested, like between Virginia and South Carolina and Georgia area. Like, can you zoom in by chance on that? Go down, maybe. Okay. Atlanta looks like it's going to get swarmed. Can't even see Atlanta. So yeah, it kind of looks like it might be in my area, which sucks. Well, I'll hear them. I do like the sound of them.
I do too.
And there's supposed to be a lot, so it'd be really interesting to catch, like, if there's so many flying that they actually darken out the sun.
That would be tight.
That would be intense,
especially
with everything else going on. It'd be like, I'm just baby Jesus is going to come back at any time.
These were his calculations of the eclipse. He was like writing down the times. I thought it looked like this, the times, which is in that show, The Three-Body Problem, if you remember.
Yeah.
This is another thing that I've been showing my audience and uncovering is the Sampaku eye.
What, like, is that like a film on the eye?
It's the three whites. Sampaku in Japanese means the three whites, and it's symbolism. And I uncovered at the Doenut Factory that the symbol of the Sampaku is connected to tragedies, and there's different Sampaku eyes. So the three whites would be like up here is all white. That means the person's like a little nutty at that moment, a little crazy at that moment. I get it if I'm feeling like I'm going crazy. If it's down here, that means like you got a lot of mental distress. And a lot of celebrities who have this, Prince had it, their demise happens eventually in their career. And if it's all around Sampaku, you got to look out for these people. I just met a guy with this, and I stopped going to his store because that means that they can be very hostile eventually. And it's just symbolism. Yeah, and it goes into the eclipse too, because that Black Hole Sun song, Won't You Come, Black Hole Sun?
Yeah, with all the demon face syndrome predictive programming, I guess you want to call it that.
You're right. Oh, man, I don't know. I gotta find where I put
That
it.
is crazy. That demon face thing, the demon face syndrome, saying that people just mysteriously are going to start seeing things that resemble something that would be considered to be demonic.
Right.
And
And
then we have what's taking place tomorrow in less than 24 hours. You know, I mean,
right.
it's you know, everybody just, I don't even know what to even advise. Just not that I think anything specifically crazy is going to happen, but try to be an anchor to those around you that may be freaking out.
Yeah.
Trust in God, trust in the Lord, trust in, you know, have faith but I've heard you're not the first person that I've heard talk about this song.
No, but what I
Recently.
cover is the Sampaku Eye. So this song is like the Eclipse too, but something that like people have been connecting is that this video people are getting the demon faces. But what I've been uncovering is that the 90s was full of the Sampaku eyes at the top. So you see here how it's at the top, the
Yeah.
eyeballs. All Beavis and Butthead music videos that they're watching show this. Even today, like if you watch The Office, all the characters have Sampaku eyes throughout it.
Where did you learn about these Sampuku eyes?
It's a book that is about just facial symbolism of like how to read people. My friend, he told me about it, and
Okay.
then I just started diving deep on celebrities with it. So this would be underneath. This means that something tragic is going to happen to the celebrity, but it just means the person has mental distress as well. There's maybe some addiction problems, but this is the perfect example of the demon face. Doesn't that look just like the demon face that they're saying people are going to start seeing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like almost predictive programming. I remember specifically, like, I can't tell you what I was doing the day it came out or what date it came out, but I remember when this video was out, when it was new.
This video like inspired my entire career
I
because I was
loved Soundgarden. They were a great band. I think Chris Cornell is probably one of the most talented singers we've been blessed to hear voice of.
yeah. And no, I saw this music video of the girl barbecuing Barbie. I thought it was so cool. And this actually is why I made music videos, was because this video, it had such an impact on me. But here's the Sampaku too. The three whites, but the demon face too. So who
That's
knows?
intense, man.
It is intense.
Well, especially like when you get into understanding what Chris Cornell was doing towards the latter days in his life.
What was he doing?
Him and Chester Bennington, they were doing like documentary series that had to deal with trafficking and stuff to that effect with children. So
Right.
they were very heavily involved in that movement. So I think maybe I don't know. I mean, it's like you see the dark, and then maybe you want to do something in your life to try to make a difference, and then people, because even his quote unquote suicide is very questionable.
Oh, is that what happened?
That he killed himself?
Yeah.
That's what they say. But I think it's very questionable when you look into a lot of the specific situation. Yeah, you should look into like his latter days, because he was like kind of like getting into that PFs, I gotta watch the algorithm, obviously, but there's people that like
I understand what you're saying.
little children people.
Yeah.
And it's not cool. So I think that they were trying to do a lot, both Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell. And then I think so. Chester Bennington committed suicide, and if I'm not mistaken, Cornell committed suicide on the year anniversary of, or Chester Bennington committed suicide a year after Chris Cornell on the same day. It's one or the other, but I think it was Chris Cornell first, and then Chester Bennington. If anybody knows, let me know. But
yeah, that's something
a little tangent, but yeah, they were trying to expose some shit as far as I'm aware.
I even heard the one guy from Friends was as well. And even the other guy, Anthony Bourdain.
It's possible. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was Chris Cornell first, and then Chester Bennington. But I believe Chester Bennington did do it on the year anniversary. They were really close, and they were working on this documentary or something to that effect. I think they had foundations and things like that where they were already trying to help people.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, but it's crazy to think that they would have been using, and it doesn't necessarily reflect on the band, because this could have something. I would be more curious who directed this video.
Oh,
Wonder if maybe that individual, because I can't see a band like Soundgarden being cool with like, hey man, we're gonna put some predictive programming in your video. You know, it was, you know, if you have some director, he can spin it as, hey, let's just do something really crazy because this is like a really weird song.
it was a cool video.
Yeah, no, it's probably one of the most iconic videos of the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, it inspired me to be into music videos.
Have you gotten your Moon Pie Solar Eclipse Survival Kit?
No. But that's what it says.
You need to get it, man. It's going to help you survive.
Well, I'm not going to be near the eclipse. But there's some signs saying that I'm going to be screwed in Arizona. So right here, I'm in Arizona, and the NCAA men's Final Four. This is a very
college basketball.
Yeah, it's an important thing. I don't know anything about it, but
March Madness.
It shows Arizona grid down scenario happening.
Mm.
And that's happening tomorrow during all this. So Arizona, I might need to be prepared for that. Which
that's happening tomorrow in Arizona. What part of Arizona?
I don't know, but
I mean, there's not a lot of big towns. Scottsdale and Phoenix are all right by each other. Then there's
the same thing.
Flagstaff is
that's
south.
Far up. Yeah, that's north. That's 2 hours north. But yeah, so that can happen. Well, I mean, that is a perfect place for it to happen because the National Guard is going to be all over the other side of America. So I don't know how National Guards work, but if everybody's looking over there, then what's up with the West Coast?
Yeah, no, I agree. Was there anything else in your presentation I wanted to be that you wanted to share? I wanted to be respectful of your time.
No, it's just a bunch of slides. The Amazon commercial, back when I worked for Christopher, he was showing this a lot, and I still show it on my channel. But this was a football commercial of the grid down happening. And this year, the Super Bowl, after the ritual where most people are looking at the TV, it says broke the internet ? And I think that's what it's all about. Even that show, the 3-body problem, in the beginning, he says, here till the lights go out. So I think there's a connection to the eclipse, the lights going out, and all of that.
It would just be too obvious at this point to do something like that on the day of the eclipse. It would just...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like, not just the eclipse.
It seems like these days, or whomever they are that, you know, put these designs and stuff together, like they obviously are aware of like specific dates, things that are happening. I mean, I was talking about this with Waters above about even just the financial stuff when the Federal Reserve does meetings, things like that. It's like all these things are done very strategically.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't make any sense that we would actually have like a cyber attack, a blackout, or something like that because of the eclipse. I mean, because the actual event of the eclipse, I think the totality is just like less than a few minutes. Which is the reason, because I had considered traveling. I had considered going to Illinois and go to the 2017-2024 crossover, not the Texas one, where a lot of other people are going. because there's a lot more people paying attention to Texas than they are in Illinois, but there's still kind of eyes on those areas. And I think those will be congested areas. I mean, it would be convenient for a foreign nation to make a statement when you have large gatherings of people. That could be a potential possibility, but I don't see us having a blackout. Now, is it potential we will have this coming down the line? I mean, there's been so much, again, predictive programming, conditioning with talking about cyber warfare, cyber attacks, blackouts, power grids, all this stuff. It's just been just like all the extraterrestrial alien movies. It's all these things to get us comfortable so that when these things actually take place, it's not like such a shock. People are at least have like some sort of a, you know, they've been introduced to the concept, so it's not like completely foreign. So, man, as always, I do appreciate your time. We definitely got to do this sooner than later. If you want me to have me come on and do some stuff about crypto, I would love to do that.
Yeah,
then,
I meant to ask you questions too, so I'm gonna have to get you booked on to come on to talk about crypto, maybe for the halving. You know what I mean?
we're looking at a possible 420 halving. So
I think that what's going to happen, just as my thoughts, is I think there's going to be disorder this month, and then I think there's going to be a scare in the system to make prices go down in the markets, and then very quickly, I think we're going to see skyrocketing around next month because there's this alignment with Jupiter. So the halving date that it has been scheduled for since its inception is around an astrological alignment that's supposed to be very good for it's something with Jupiter. I'll relook into it. And so I think it's going to skyrocket too, but I think it's going to go down and then skyrocket like it usually does. Like
let's see here. Bitcoin having countdown, because there's a couple different websites that have, because it's not a precise science. It happens. It's the block times for each block is an average of 10 minutes. So if they're all consistently 10 minutes, then they can say when it would happen. So this counter from crypto.com, let me see while it's aggregating and pulling up. It's calling for April 19th at 7:14 p.m. my time, Eastern time.
That's the earthquake date.
April 19th. Now, the other website is showing April 20th at 9:45 UTC, which I'm not sure what that translates to Eastern time for me, but somewhere between the 19th and 20th is what we're looking at for the halving. And then you say there's an alignment with Jupiter that's going to be taking place in what, May?
Next month. Yeah. I got to dig it up, but it's supposed to be very good for like technology.
Awesome. Okay, so for people who aren't familiar with my man Doenut, which I'm pretty sure most of the people that are watching this are familiar with you and probably came from your side, which I greatly appreciate. You guys make sure you're checking out Doenut's website. I got links down below for all of his websites, as well as everything that I screen shared today. So it'll be do-nut.com is his website. Check out his Patreon, where you can support his work directly and get all kinds of exclusive content. Make sure you're following him on the X Twitters at The Real Doenut, and I have links for his YouTube and Rumble channel as well. Make sure you're checking out my website, ricetvx.com. Again, you can watch both of my YouTube channels, Rice Crypto and Rice Against the Grain, directly on my website. You can join the private side and get access to both my websites. You can sign up for my mailing list. Make sure you're following me on X if you are not already at RiceTVX. I will have links for my YouTube channel, Rice Crypto, as well as Rice Against the Grain that you're watching on right now, and my Rumble channel as well. I greatly appreciate everybody for tuning in. And yeah, dude, let me know when you want to do something together, and I would love to have you on. So you have any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Smash that like button, please, and thank you.
Now, enjoy the rest of your night, man. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream on my own, and I will see you soon, man.
Thank you. See you later.
Much love, Doenut.
Much love.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I greatly appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in, and Donut for getting through those internet issues. I always love my time with Alex. He's good people, very wicked smart, obviously. Appreciate everybody for taking the time to tune in. If you have not already smashed that like button, please take an opportunity, smash it, whether you're watching on the YouTube, on the Rumble, or over on X. Again, sign up for my mailing list. Make sure you're subscribed to all my channels. Links are down below for my channels, Donut's channels, Donut socials, and everything I screen shared on today's video. Again, everybody, make sure you're being safe during this crazy time that we're going to be experiencing tomorrow for this 2024 total solar eclipse taking place April 8th, 2024. We didn't even talk much about the cicadas. That's going to be happening towards the end of April, sometime in May, potentially. That's going to be crazy. So we still got a lot to talk about. I do encourage people to make sure you're tuning in for all my previous content as well. And I'm just trying to navigate the screen here. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again so much for your time, because time is our most valuable asset, and I greatly appreciate you giving it to me and my boy Donut. Again, make sure you subscribe to our channels. To end this with a little positivity, I encourage you, and I'll play my channel promo right after this to wrap things up, but I encourage you, as always, to be a blessing to others. Treat people how you want to be treated. Be the glitch that you want to see in this matrix. Be the change that you want to see in this world. Get outside, touch some grass, and until next time, practice change. Much love. Don't forget to visit ricetvx.com, where you can watch both of my YouTube channels, ricecrypto and Rice Against the Grain, directly. Find all of my social media links, sign up for my mailing list, and become a member of Rice Uncensored, where you can join me on the private side for less than $0.25 a day. You will get early access to both Rice Crypto and Rice Against the Grain, ad-free, unedited videos, exclusive content, members-only forum with direct access to me, live streams, and more to come, only at ricetvx.com.